morning, guys. It is my pleasure and absolute honor to be a panelist and a moderator for this. And today with me, I have 1, 2, 3, -1. Matthias is missing. I know he was partying last night. So are we all awake out there? Well done. Great stuff. So I will let the speakers over here, the panelists, to introduce themselves. Proud to say the guy on the far left, I know for 15 years in Romania, so we will not do this in Romanian language. You'll be pleased to know. Adriane, hi there.
Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. I'm with Tokenized, second category investor. My areas of expertise are sales, marketing, and business development, and besides having advisory roles and being in member boards, I'm involved directly in Cloudcoin, which is a post-blockchain digital currency, DAO1, which is a decentralized autonomous organization, Faster Capital, an accelerator for startups, Global venture capital firm in London, and also I'm a mentor in Richard Branson's Working Startups program in the UK.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm coming from MCN. We're a digital asset platform, and we're also running a crypto payment gateway. So that's pretty simple.
Thank you. But if you could just say name and company.
Or you can call me
And company. Name of company. Well done. Go for it, James.
Hi, I'm James Hack. I'm the chairman of DLTX. We're the only publicly listed company that's a portfolio of distributed ledger technology assets. So if any of you guys out there are confused or looking to distribute, allocate investment in sincere who don't understand the kind of fees or wallets or would like to have exposure, look up DLTX. We trade at Euronext on the Oslo Exchange.
Great, thank you. So Michael, let's start with you. In this part of the world, and especially in Asia, how is this market with NFTs, DeFi, how do you see it going in the future? How do you think in terms of, I guess, user take-up and the number of investors in this market? How do you see it growing from now to scale at a much, much bigger level?
Okay. I wouldn't say I know about this market, right? Because normally when you hear someone say, I know about this market, most likely he doesn't, right? So, like,
it's changing rapidly.
Yeah, like for NFT, right? Actually, I don't know how many of you guys actually in crypto, right? Like a lot of people actually got into crypto or digital assets in the past 6 months or 3 months, right? It's a highlight, right? NFT has been around for almost 7 years, right? It started from 2012 as a non-fungible token, and really didn't really get any traction until probably 2-3 years ago when the crypto kitty thing, right? And then this time again, right? So I think I'm happy to see more people get involved, but I am still taking a relatively conservative stance regarding the NFT.
Absolutely, great point there. Adrian, coming to you, in my view, what we are doing at My Tokenized Capital is making it available for the masses, okay? This just now, for me, as making an impact on 1 billion people's lives, it's not happening because you got 120,000 people, real investors buying it. So my view is, how do you scale it? I mean, I'll tell you what we're doing, but it'd be great to see where you're coming from the cloud side of things.
First, I would like to share an idea, because the beauty of those events is also to come to your question. I need to share an idea first.
Make it quick, eh?
Very quick. Coming to such events is beautiful because you can get 1-2 ideas which can be life-changing or business-changing. And that idea is that usually when something is all over social media, it's too late to enter. There are some barriers right now to mass adoption, and some of the barriers are that most platforms are created for tech-savvy people, and these are not the majority. So these platforms need to have usability to be translated for non-tech people, which are the majority. Also, there is still risk when you place some funds in such an asset, because it's not as safe as going to a bank, where when the card is hacked, you can get the money back. And these are problems and opportunities which could be solved by startups to help the massive.
So what you're talking about is the user interface, user experience is still very complex. But that's true for almost everything we do in blockchain. And we are at fault, that's why the adoption hasn't been grand and massive. James, thank you, Adria. James, in your view, give us a real, how do people adopt this and make it, not viral is the wrong word, but how do you reach the billions?
I think that where we are in the NFT world is very early, and that what's happening right now does not represent what's going to be valuable or interesting about NFTs. People right now are by their nature trying to catch money value to everything that's value. And so right now we have tokens, and we have ICOs, and we have NFTs, and the NFTs are being used for art. But we don't really need NFTs for art. We already have art.
Well done.
We already have digital art. Right?
Yes.
We don't need NFTs for those things, and that's not going to be the ultimate use for NFTs. NFTs are going to be used to carry data between protocols so that humans can interact with simple interfaces on their iOS phone, and NFTs are going to do the work in the background to carry the data from protocol to protocol so that you won't need to know what protocol you're using. So right now, you can download any art and NFTs if you want. It's probably a little bit dangerous because it's frothy. And in the long term, I don't think you're going to find that the use case that we have now in NFTs represents anything other than the simplest first use case that people use and gain some attraction. But in the long run, I don't think you're going to remember this space at all.
No, that's a very good point about a phase that we're going through. So one of my challenges, as I said, we've developed a platform, this is not a pitch or something, where I think the solution is everyone's used to social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. To me, any of this can be an NFT because it's unique content, but my background is real estate investment as well, right? So why can't a piece of building be an NFT because it's everything unique about it, and then take it to the metaverse world and do all the things you do with real estate? It's a 250 trillion business. So why can't you rent, share, collect rent, give dividends to the NFT owner through a fractionalized thing? So we developed all of this, by the way.
But as long as you need to use the letters NFT, it's not going to be mass adoption.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to own an NFT. You want to own a piece of the building.
Correct.
Right? You want to, and so NFTs are going to be used to establish title and to enable people to transfer ownership of assets. Those assets are going to be digital, they're going to be physical, they're going to be metaphysical.
Absolutely.
Right? But you're not going to know you're touching an NFT, and as long as you need to use the letters NFT, we're not going to have mass adoption.
No, absolutely correct. I mean, that's what I said. Even 4 years ago when the ICO boom was happening, I said, no. Tokenization of asset, it could be any asset, is an NFT. Now we're calling it NFT. Hell, I did this 40 years ago, right? In real estate. You take crowdfunding, you break it into bits, which is now fractionalized NFT. Same thing, and then NFT is the building, and you share it with all your investors. So even yesterday when we got the award for the best tokenized asset thing, thank you, is about tokenized asset. I don't want NFT, really. You don't want NFT.
What's happening right now is that in order to have transferability of assets, you need to have a ledger. You need to have the ability to know who owns what, and what the history of the asset is, and how do I acquire it. And so you need a technology in the background that can handle the fractionalization, the democratization, the distribution. And so that will be NFT technology, will be non-fungible tokens. But non-fungible tokens are going to change in form and be different than they are today. And it's not going to be about going and buying art anymore. It's going to be about identifying who owns the art and how can I transfer that art. And that's going to become liquid across national and political borders. So you'll be able to transact with whoever you want to in a free way. So you can basically have liquidity.
Yeah, so again, taking it from that, what he just said, so the vision I have and we're building as well is not only fractionalized NFTs, but even renting, sharing. So if you own a particular piece of art, which is expensive, why not give it to museums on a small rental piece everywhere in the world so they can all see it, be it VR, AR. How do you see that?
Well, instead of answering that question directly, right, I wouldn't want to ask the big cost, right? Actually, besides the technical part, right, I'm sure a lot of the audience here actually didn't really understand the details of the technology part, right? So, you know,
Keep it simple.
yeah, remember this concept of SEO, security token offerings is really popular for the past few years and never really actually kick off, right?
Correct.
And compare SEO versus NFT. I think actually NFT have a better chance to stay in the game, right? Because there are also there's an underlying assets like either it's a property or iron money or SEO,
Absolutely.
or it's an art like for
Absolutely.
NFT. But the only difference is if you a dream to set, right? Because for SEO, why it's not really taking off? Because it's really like a high single digit return, right? Because you understand the asset, the return. But for the arts, for the collectors, right? People can think, oh, someday maybe they can increase in value. And also, because of the technology part, they get access to a lot.
No, absolutely. And again, coming back to that, bringing it to any asset. I don't like the word NFT as well. Any asset. It could be art, music, movie clip, TikTok video, whatever it is. Anything that's unique that you say is of some value that someone's going to pay for it. And how do you then take it to everybody? Like if you look at all the celebs, or even, my challenge is to help the smaller guys in India, Africa, for them, they can't even afford $400 NFT. How do you make it so it's $10, $20 or whatever, and help these sorts of creators to be on a platform rather than the ERC20 expensive, sometimes even more price to even list this, So bring it down to level 2 and make the smaller people be self-sustainable. So maybe come to you, James. How do you see the world, world really impacting in the billions rather than the 100, 200,000 NFT buyers, which is a fashion in my view?
Exactly. Baseball cards on NFTs, right? Each card is a token, each one is individual, so that's NFT. Magic the Gathering, which is the most popular game in the world, but those cards are NFTs. The formation of the first exchange for digital assets is called Mt. Gox. So Mt. Gox is MTG, Magic the Gathering. It was a trading form for cards in the Magic the Gathering games. So this has been around for a while, and the upcoming generations know exactly how to use it. The difference that's going to come is that now that we have omnipresent bandwidth and that we have access globally that's growing into the unbanked areas, we're going to see that Africa and Asia, which has huge pent-up demand for owning assets that are inflation hedges against their local currencies, and the ability to avoid, without getting too political, avoid some of the impact of their local government by holding assets that are globally liquid. And so the way that this goes international and goes global is that we have these platforms that cut across political boundaries and enable people to deal with each other in a trustless environment where you don't need to know who your included other party on your trade is. You don't need to trust them because the protocol takes care of the ownership and the identification and allows two people without knowing each other to transact in value and information. Yeah. So the NFT is basically going to be the base technology sitting underneath the layer of the transactions that people do without having to know who they're.
Yeah, I always say that, how many of you know what's behind the internet, right down to TCP/IP? And okay, I do from Sun, but who cares? Who knows what's behind mobile phone infrastructure? Who cares? Exactly. That's when we know when we've cracked it, When it's as simple as that, you say, I have a piece of something, you put it on a platform like a mobile wallet even, and away. You connect it to an exchange and you start making money. Adrian, so again, in the early days when the .com thing started and you're into the cloud thing, we had this thing called the network is the computer. It took 20 years for the world to realize what the network is the computer actually means. It's now there with cloud. In the NFT space, DeFi space, banking space, how do you see all of this as a service to make it so simple that even someone with a mobile phone in Africa, India, wherever it is, can just say, you know what, I'm earning $1 a day by just being here. How do you see that as cloud as a service?
It takes time, basically, for those notions and the idea from these services to become second nature. Let's think about the customer habits. People like to own collectibles. In their mind, this will increase in value over time. Also, people like more to buy digital stuff today than physical stuff because in the tablet and mobile phone culture, it's very easy to show them. It's very easy to share them. But at the end of the day, most of these tokens, even if people are holding investments and they expect them to rise in value, they are utility tokens. They are not securities, which is very, very important. And when an idea becomes second nature, so it is part of your life, actually, as you go to pay a subscription for the mobile phone, you will pay a subscription to be part of the platform and to own a little piece of something which is believed that will increase in value over time. Whenever you are doing something in this space, first analyze the trends, look at the customer habits, either B2B or B2C, and place your product or service to catch the wave before everybody on social media.
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. When you make it like that, that's when it's real. Have the utility for the usage thing through all the people who follow you. Okay, let's try and wrap it a little bit. So, just some closing remarks in terms of helping people over here. How many people are in the NFT space? Just very quick show of hands. Yeah. In the DeFi space, quite a few. Trading, currencies. No, it's another guy actually. He can be in both, like me. I'm in all of them. Okay. Fantastic. So I see the vision as converging into NFTs, DeFi, social media, banking, because me as a client, I don't want to go through multiple platforms to do multiple things. We are all fed up of that, correct? All fed up. Too many places, mint here, shard here, collect there, yield farming here. Too complicated. I see that all converging in the next 5 years, just like how internet, Java, all this converged and came to that. Where do you see it going? Quick, one sentence, two sentences.
Everybody wants to be involved, and you have to choose your passion, be willing to make some mistakes, to get yourself involved. I'd like to throw in a quick thing there. If you're confused and you really want to invest and you want to see the future, look at our company, NFTS, because your portfolio of these assets that we can allow you in a liquid way to be involved in the market on a day-to-day basis and to make your investment and to get the investment back in a liquid way.
Thank you.
What I want to share is that standard goals, right? This market or any digital asset or NFT market is prosper and small. No, we need everyone small, right? Like today, just not everyone has a digital asset, right? And not everyone has a digital wallet, let alone NFTs, right? So before you go to sleep, right, think about it. Just ask.
Thank you. Adrian, summary.
My closing thought, this new world is coming the same day nights follow the day. So my advice is, even if you work with experts, spend time, invest resources. The most important resources is your time to understand this world, at least until the sense of that. Involve, allow yourself to make some mistakes, because we people are improving anything we are doing, not we are thinking of doing.
Thank you. With that, I have a final vision. I think we all should realize what the social media are doing. They're making money on us. So I have a phrase on my tokenized.capital. Be the coin. You are all worth money because all these people are making money on us. Ads, likes, comments, and everything. So be the coin, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you, speakers. Big round of applause.
Thank you.